Well, Ray Kurzweil, it's a pleasure to spend a little time with you.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time with our ExecuNet membership. I know you're one of the world's leading futurists, and I can certainly vouch for that, having just come from a sold-out luncheon presentation. I actually met a chief technology officer from a very large global organization who described your luncheon presentation as a must-do during his time here in New York. So anyway, you've got a lot of followers out there. I know you talk a lot about the implications of innovation around healthcare. Your thoughts there in terms of what the future might hold?
Health and medicine did not used to be in information technology. Pretty recently, in fact, most of the drugs on the market were done the old-fashioned way of just happening to find things that work. We're now treating biology as an information process, which is fundamentally what it is. But until we collected the genome, we didn't even have the object code of life. Now we have that object code. That was an exponential progression. We're making exponential gains in understanding it, being able to reprogram it, add genes that are missing. I'm involved in a project where we add a gene to people who are missing a gene which causes a fatal disease, pulmonary hypertension. There are projects that turn genes off that are negative to our health. For example, the fat insulin receptor gene that says hold on to every calorie. That was actually turned off in animal experiments. Those animals ate a lot and remained slim and then lived 20% longer. So we're gaining the means now of actually reprogramming biology. It's a whole new era. There's many different facets of this. But now that health and medicine is an information technology, it's going to progress exponentially, not linearly. And that's a very profound difference. Ultimately, exponential growth is extremely rapid. 30 steps exponentially gets you to 1 billion.
Okay. One last question, Ray. What are your hopes for managers and leaders when it comes to understanding these issues, staying out ahead of them, and delivering solutions, be it a healthcare patient or a consumer or customer? What are your hopes around management and leadership to put some of these things into perspective and action and the betterment of our world?
One of my main points today in my remarks and one of my main themes when I mentor young companies is you can really predict where the fundamental measures of information technology that affect your business will be a year from now, 2, 3, 4 years from now. Your project that you're doing now has to make sense as the project rolls out. It has to make sense 3 years from now. It has to be appropriate for that world. But there's many different aspects of that world that we can reliably anticipate. I saw the World Wide Web coming actually a decade and a half before it emerged because I could see that exponential progression. And these are highly predictable, but they're very disruptive changes. And so you can actually project what your industry will be like in terms of the basic capabilities of these technologies, and then to make sure your project makes sense for that future world.
So it sounds like adaptivity and continually looking at evolution is important.
There needs to be a discipline of actually using this methodology. I'm saying, okay, my business depends on display resolution or genetic sequencing times, and you can actually plot where those things will be, what the capabilities of those different technical areas will be a year from now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. And then make sure your plan actually makes sense. I can't tell you how many plans I read that assume the world 5 years from now will be more or less the same that it is today. It's not the case. I mean, look back 4 years ago. People didn't use social networks or wikis or blogs. It sounds like ancient history. It was very, very recently. The world's going to be different again, and you can anticipate what it will be like in broad strokes as it affects your project.
Terrific. Ray, thanks for taking the time.
I appreciate it.